What's up, everybody? God's man MJ here. Let me get right to it. Real practical stuff. I don't know if y'all hear the jing-a-ling-a-ling. It's the paleta man here on the block. I ain't got no coins. I will go get me a coconut. But anyways, good afternoon to y'all. How y'all doing out there? It is Friday, August. Man, my dates, man. I think it's the 26th. Yeah, 26. So I'm gonna get straight to it. This one is for the fellas, and let me put this out here so you know. It's kind of like God gives me series in a sense, where there's always these topics that he gives me, and in of late it's been exposing fear, talking about fear and the wickedness of fear and the crippling of fear. Also, the other one, of course, to counter that is love. So he's been really, love is like the main thing. That's the creme de la creme of topics. Sometimes I do avoid them for, what other reasons I'll share in the future with you. But a lot of it is just relational stuff, you know what I mean, and that practical stuff that we go through. So with the fellas, this is going to be real practical with you. Because we humans, we live, we go through this as men, as spouses, as husbands, and things of that nature. So I'm gonna start with the younger ones, the younger men that are single, that are looking to someday be married, stuff like that. What I would like to say to y'all, and of course, these are things that God has downloaded in me, nuggets, gems that he's dropped in me, thoughts coupled with my life experiences of, manhood, husbandry, all that type of stuff. It's a combination. I'm not really, I don't really freestyle and make up stuff, you know what I mean? There's a witness in the spirit in it, and most of the time, I'm telling you, about 90% of the time, when God dropped these in me, I hold on to them, I take notes on them, but then, another man of God or another woman of God or something come across my feed. There's all just confirmation, you know what I mean? There's always, God gives the confirmation, no, MJ, you own it. So the confirmation helps me, oh, okay, I just saying, I'm actually hearing from you, Lord. You know what I mean? So, so with the fellas, it's all about setting the tone straight away. Setting the tone in your homes, in your marriages. You have to do that. I'm gonna be real blunt with you. It's more than just laying your wife down, you know what I mean? Laying your girl down and all of that, lording over her, acting like, she gotta do that wifely duty on demand when you say all that, you know what I mean? It's bigger than that, man. It's deeper than that. And you don't want to set yourself up with having your marriage out of order. And I'm speaking from a place of experience. God will allow you to see, and he at least for me, he's allowed me to see other people's relationships, marriages, specifically saints. You know what I mean? Holy Ghost, powerful saints, that's been, walking with the Lord, but in their private, their marriages are in shambles. And this is why inside the church, the stats are the same as in the world when it comes to the divorce rate and things like that. So, fellas, you got to set the tone in your leadership, and it has to be through and through. I mean, um, from my experience, again, the first thing that we should be leading through is spiritual leading in the home. Spiritual leading in the home. Spiritual leading in the home, being that spiritual head. And what does that look like? That's, intentional prayer with your wife. I mean, it's the same. You're the priest in the home. You're the pastor in the home. So we should be leading spiritually with all of that. When the woman sees the submissiveness of the man to Jesus, you're modeling something for her. So then it'll humble her. She acting up, she wild, she, like a horse you trying to break in or whatever, and she don't want to act right, you know what I mean? When you model that submission, that will soften her. That will get her to be like, wow, this dude be putting up with me, and he's been so faithful, with the Lord and everything he's doing and his will. Some of the things that he tells me no about, whether she want to go buy a new dress or something, and you like, no, not yet. And, you still love up on her. You still do other things to satisfy her. You improvise. You come up with other things to make your wife happy. If she want that new handbag or something like that, and it's just not in the budget. Because reality is, it just may not be in the budget. You know what I mean? And she gonna have to deal with it. Just like reality is, bro. You want that new tool, it may not be in the budget. You know what I mean? So when you're in that position of being a husband, being that head in the home and all of that, you really have to be fair. You got to look at it from her point, and not just, like I said, that ruling with an iron fist. Like, man, that's dead, bro. That's not godly. That's not godly at all. So with that being said, again, young men of God, you don't want to go into that relationship the wrong way. You don't, because it's going to be hard, bro. It's going to be hard to try to reverse that. It's going to be hard to try to reverse that. When you let stuff go too long, 5, 10, and then now it seems normal, and to go away from normal, that's hard. So when you're out of alignment in your marriage, like she more the head in the house than you are as a man, that ain't right. That's not God's order. That's not his design. And there may be some underlying issues to why that is. You could have mother issues, and because growing up you didn't have a good relationship with your mother, so somehow the nurturing side of your wife allowed you to make your wife your mother figure instead of your wife, and so therefore you're not leading her properly. You're listening to her because you always wanted a mother and you never had a good relationship with your mother. So therefore it manifests in your marriage. Now your marriage out of pocket, it's out of alignment. You know what I mean? So you got to get that right. And the way you get that right is, of course, through the help of Jesus. But sometimes people get drunk off power. Now, what if your wife is so drunk off power that she's been your mother figure for 10 years in your marriage, 20 years in your marriage, 30 years in your marriage, and she don't know how to let go and get right? She know that she out of order, but her flesh saying, you control him. So, and that's reality. I'm just telling you, that's reality. That is reality, where people get drunk off of that power, man, and they love the feeling of it, but really these women, they're out of order. They're out of order, and I really think it's more on the men, because the men allow the wives or they allow their marriage to be out of order. They don't go to God and say, God, get my marriage back on track with the way you designed my marriage to be, not how I'm allowing it to be, not like how she wants it to be. You feel me? You go to God, he'll He'll fix it, but it's gonna be some uncomfortableness because you guys have programmed yourself to be out of order for so long. You know what I mean? It's like anything that you do that you've been doing for so long, and all of a sudden now you're not doing it anymore. It's hard to let that go. So, young men, really be on that. Really be on going into marriage with the right attitude, with the right everything, with God's. You're gonna need God's guidance in this, man. Like for real, you're gonna need His guidance in it. So you go into it right. So you go into it right. Go into it right, man. Don't. Again, do not fall prey to your flesh of the sexual sides of the marriage. And I'm not denouncing sex in your marriage. You know, the marriage bed is undefiled, but don't be no sucker for the sex, just to appease, you know, your wife into something that's going to end up with your marriage out of order, and it's in the long run it's going to be hard because, again, as you get older, you know, we age, so everything ain't going to be tight and right like it used to be. So then, what do you have? What glue do you have to keep you and your wife in love with each other, loving each other, showing love and action to each other, you know, well into your 60s, you know what I mean? Well into your 70s. You know, I'm just being real with you, man. So, again, these are life experiences, things that I've seen, things that God has shared with me, downloaded in me, and I'm just sharing that because I see it with these men, you know, out here, young men, young saints, single males that are about to, you know, they're on the verge of getting married and everything, and you know, they're gonna get, if they're not being told, they're gonna go into it and it's gonna be out of order, and you don't want that. You want God's order for your marriage, you know, and everything. And when you have a God-fearing wife, a woman of God wife, she's going to understand and she's going to respect that you're in the will of God about everything, you know, despite her not getting, like I said, that bag she won't, you know, them slides that she won't, them pumps that she won't, you know, right then and there, you know, that you're leading her. And as Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ. You know what I mean? You're the priest, you're the pastor, you know, you're the evangelist, you're this in your home. So love, baby girl, follow me as I follow Christ. You're my wife, I love you, you know, stuff like that. So go into it right. Seek, you know, the face of God in that, of what it is. Because everybody's marriage is going to be different. I mean, there's some foundational stuff, but you ask specifically, exclusively for you and your wife, the chemistry of your wife, how you want us to get down for your glory, Lord, together as one, serving you, Lord, you know, and serving each other, stuff like that. So that's all I have. I love y'all. Y'all be blessed going into this, what is this, the third weekend of August? It's moving, man. And the weather kind of crazy, because I remember back in the day when I was a kid, it used to be a whole lot hotter than this at midday, you know what I mean, in August. So, you know, phenomenons of the Lord, you know, he coming soon, King Jesus. So I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Remember, Jesus is king. He's sovereign. He on the throne. And he loves you. He wants to hear from you. He loves your voice. So just chop it up with him. Talk to him. Acknowledge him. Say, what's up, Jesus? How you doing? Thank you for the breath that you are giving me today. You know what I mean? So I love y'all. Once again, God's man, MJ. God bless.